All right. Morning, everyone. Rob here, and congratulations to Denny Hamlin on his third Daytona 500. Didn't watch, but maybe, I don't know, maybe 5, 10 laps of it early in the first 50 laps. And it was the same thing we've been watching for the last 25 years. And NASCAR is, I can't believe, we can't believe this stuff about Ryan Newman. Well, why does it surprise you, folks? Why should it surprise you when you've got 30 cars running in an area that if they ran them on 95, I-81, I-40, I-66, there would be a crash there every time, and there's no way to avoid it because there's so many cars so fast. It's like Autobahn. There's ways that I think you can prevent it. And how do you prevent this from happening? Well, let's turn back the clock 35 years and then also use the technology of 2020. Number one, you take off the restrictor plates. You get done. Bye-bye. See you later. Restrictor plates are done. Then everybody's going to be coming to me, Rob, but look, man, they're going to be running 210, 215. Yeah, they will. Yeah, they will. But listen to everything I have to say about this. Number two, tear the spoiler down. Don't leave that spoiler way up there like that. You leave that spoiler way up like that, and all that's doing is keeping the car settled. That's the last thing you need. Why do you want to do? It's like, okay, it's like you got kids riding go-karts, okay, and you want to make it where instead of them going 80 miles an hour, they go 120. So you give them a better front end where it sets it to the ground more. Why do you do that? Look, make them drive the car. Make them have to lift off the pedal. I don't understand why. What in God's green earth makes everybody think the best racing out there is if you got them all in a pack and they can't go anywhere? They're all in a big pack. That's not the best racing. Do you remember the 80s? Cale Yarborough, Richard Petty even. He was coming to the end pretty much, but Buddy Baker, the Allisons, Earnhardt was in that. Go back, watch some of those races, 83, 84, 85. They were running 210 miles an hour, but they were spreading out. One reason was tires, okay? Soften the tire up. Don't go in with a hard tire. Soften the tire down a little bit. Okay, and or give them options. If they want to have a soft compound, if they want a hard compound tire, probably not going to be as fast, but it may last longer. Make them have to decide for themselves which one they want, and make them go with it. And maybe have it option during the race. Soft compound, hard compound. Number three, more than anything, make those fuel tanks smaller. Make them smaller. Look, if they have to pit 12 times, 15 times in a race, so be it. Don't make it where they can run 50 laps. Okay? Make it where they can run 20. Something like that. Get out there and race, and then you have to come in and pit. You get tires, not tires. It's up to the crews every time, okay? It's not leaving everybody out there all the time in a group. That splits it up a little bit, okay? Next thing, get rid of stage racing. With the exception of if you're going to keep stage racing, take your points and give it to them as they cross the line at 65, 130, and then 200 at NASCAR at Daytona. Do not throw a caution flag. Okay. do not throw a caution flag unless there's a reason to throw a caution flag. All right? If it's a car in the infield, okay, he just spun out and slid across the infield, and no other cars involved, and there's 42 other cars still riding out there. If he can drive that bad boy after he slid, because if there's no reason to think there's anything on the track or anything, let him drive that thing through the infield, cut it off. Okay. If he wants to get back out there, have him tow it around during the next caution. But if he spun it out, that's people watched it. People went to it. The grandstands were packed. It was not due to the fact that they were running 215 miles an hour. It was due to the fact they were racing for 200 laps. Now you got technology. You got the Hans device, okay, which probably saved Ryan Newman's life. And after that crash, you see that crash last night. They said it was non-life-threatening injuries. By 9 o'clock last night, they were already saying it, okay? They already had him at the airport. Not the airport, at the hospital, and had him in there ready. Technology has changed, folks. But if you notice, a couple things happened. When he flipped, then what happened? Another car behind him lifted him up over it. All right? That may not happen. That might not happen if you start spreading the cars out. There are ways to solve the issues. 10, 15, 20 miles an hour is not going to hurt the cars going faster. Them going faster is not going to hurt anything. Lower those spoilers. What do they do in Indianapolis? They race in a square, not a circle. They race in a square or a triangle, a rectangle. Let's say I'll get it right in a minute. Rectangle. But when they get to the corners, you don't have but two options. You can either run wide open and maybe hit the wall, or let off the gas a little bit and then go again. What's the difference? You're up on a big, 36 degrees. Let off the gas a little bit, keep going. Tires start getting slick. Okay, I'm coming into the pits. 20 laps later, okay, you got new tires, soft tires, whatever. Smaller fuel tanks, if somebody hits you and you do wreck, you don't have as much fuel to be burning for the next however long, Forget the overtime. Okay? Go back to the old style. Once in a while, yeah, you had a caution, and that's the way the race ended. But guess what? You had 175, 180 laps that, man, oh man, they take home, and it's like, can you believe that? That overtime garbage, NASCAR can say, well, let's throw a caution flag here. All right, we'll do it. Line them up again. And if you do it, line them up 4 or 5 times, you can go from 25 cars to 8 cars in a restart real quick. Oh, we lost 5 in that restart. Okay, look, we lost 7 in that restart. That's garbage. And then on top of this, some of the car owners may be able to keep their cars in one piece, and their drivers, thank the Lord, in one piece. But all right, NASCAR can come up with, this one gets on my nerves so bad. We haven't had a fatality in the top 3 series since Dale Earnhardt. Yeah, but also before Dale Earnhardt, you went a while before since you'd had your last one. Is that what you want to run on as numbers? Well, you know what? If we can go this far until we lose another one, is that really? Is that the way you want to work? Is that the way you want to operate? Why don't you operate the safest way possible, the best way possible, the best financially, every kind of way possible? Get rid of the stages, smaller fuel tanks, 2 types of tires, give them a hard tire and a soft tire. And stages is fine, but don't throw cautions just for the hell of throwing cautions. And get rid of the restrictor plate. I'm going to tell you right now, everybody's going to say, well, they'll all be running 212. They might be. They may be. They may all be running 210. But when they start getting in a line and start sliding and slipping and all that, yeah, you may have more infield wrecks as far as somebody slipping, hitting the wall, and going into the infield. You may have more of those. I'm not going to deny that. But isn't that the lesser of two evils than when you have, the big one? The big one. That's what they call it. Drivers even know it's going to happen. They even said before the race, Ryan Newman hated the way they had those cars and said, I hope I'm not in, quote unquote, the big one. NASCAR's got to do something. And why not turn back the clock a little bit and do what the way they used to run, and run it clock up to 2020 with the technology that you've got, safer barriers. But look, putting them all in a wad of 43 cars or 40 cars or whatever is not the solution. Well, it's great racing. It's not great racing. It's not great racing. When a car is in the middle of the track and they got a foot they can move that way, a foot and a half they can move this way, nowhere in front of them because it's a bumper in front of them and nowhere behind. What kind of racing is that? It's not much racing, folks. I mean, you can call it what you want to. It's a wad of cars. That's what it is. And if you want to remember a few years ago, let's remember, was it 2002 or 2000, maybe 2004, 3 or 4. The Xfinity series, back then it was a Busch series, finished with 2 cars on the lead lap. 2. Well, actually, I think they had a third one that was like 2 miles behind them, third car. Go back and watch that. How much fun was that? Because you'd already lost 30 cars out of the race. So many of them were laps down and they were passing them and all. And these 2 cars raced front to back the rest of the race. Second place car now didn't even try to get out of line to win. Go back and watch that. How much fun should that have been? I mean, could that have been to watch that? And before long, you're gonna have a race for one of the NASCAR, where one of the cars are torn all to crap, look like a modified, and they're gonna win a race. And I'm talking about a Daytona or Talladega, because everybody's gonna get involved in a wreck one day where nobody can get out of it. And then you got to run back laps, and then they're gonna have to catch up laps and stuff. It's gonna be a cluster. Trust me. So the best idea for NASCAR is to let them run faster. Smaller wheelbase will be fine too, but a hard and a soft tire that they have available during the race. Technology now, they can do it. A hard tire and a soft tire. And don't make it where the drivers love it. Just make it where it's dependable. Smaller fuel tanks, and get rid of the restrictor plate. Let them run 200, whatever. Lay down the spoiler. Lay it way down. That way they have to drive the car. Actually, the best driver may actually win one of these things. And I'm not, and I'm not poking fun at Denny Hamlin, but Denny Hamlin, last couple of years, he's been the one that didn't get caught in a wreck. That's what's happened. And that's just the way it's been. So, you can't have them but 2 ways. You can keep it status quo, where you only have about 100,000 people, and you're bragging about it. We had 100,000 people at Daytona. It holds 350,000 folks. It holds over a third of a million. It holds right at 300,000. And they had 100,000. They're bragging about it. And then their excuse was, well, we raced on Monday. That's the reason we didn't have nobody here. You didn't have nobody there on Sunday either. You didn't have anybody there on Sunday. Don't even go bragging about that. Turn the clock back. Watch some of the races from mid-'80s. Find a seat if you can. Find an empty seat. There's a reason why people watch those races, and it wasn't for the wrecks. It was not for the wrecks. They were going around there fast. They were running fast. Yes. But do those things. A smaller fuel tank makes a lot of difference. You don't gas. You got a lot less gas going on. If they pit a little bit more, that's fine. Let them pit. Change tires a few more times. Or tires are optional. Okay, you can go back out there again with those tires since they ran so well. Get another 20 laps. You may want to find a partner to run with. You don't have that choice now because you're just running with whoever's got behind you or whoever's in front of you. And you may not be comfortable with that person and racing with that person. You have no say, though, if they're just going to wad them up and just let them go. You know? That's my opinion on it, folks. You can chime in. Let me know what you think about it. Would that have stopped that accident last night? I don't know. It may not would have. But why don't you think about making changes, okay, before someone does get hurt, even more or worse or killed? I think NASCAR needs to do something, and if they don't, it's only a matter of time. It's a ticking time bomb. And why do you think everybody's stepping out of the cars now, retiring? Think about it. I think they're starting to fear it more. I don't think it's not all about money right now. I think it's a little bit, well, if they listen to us, maybe that we'd do it better. But NASCAR's got the blinders on. So let's hope that they do listen to the fans and to the drivers one day and say, look, let's get rid of all these cautions that don't need to be out there. If they spread out a little bit, let them race. Okay? But let's stop some of this stuff, the garbage that's going on. Happier news, I will be having my NASCAR race, I think, maybe tonight. We might do it tonight, this evening. I think we're going to run maybe a 30-lap race. Okay? 25 lap. I'll make those decisions up before we start, before we even qualify. And we'll see what happens there. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope it will be a lot of fun. 13 drivers involved right now. You'll get 3 cars each. The other 4 cars that I put out there, I may only race with 39. You know, I may just race with 39 cars. I may do that. I might do that. Not even race with 43. Race 39 cars. Yep, where everybody has 3. Yeah. If we do get a 14th person, then we can race 42. Everybody has 3. We can do that. So if you know somebody that's got red, white, and blue racing and would like a free season, let me know. And you've got the chance. You got a 1 in 14 shot of getting it if you sign up. All right, till I'll see you again. My name's Rob. Thanks so much for watching my channel. Thanks for listening to me blow off some steam at NASCAR. I just think they've got to do something, and it's up to them whether they do it or not. So we'll see what happens. Thanks so much. God bless, and be safe. And yeah, do more racing, but make sure it's safe. Have a good one.